Has joined the game. Has joined the game. Never even noticed that notification before. Oh, hello.
Hello. All right. We have some work to do.
Yes, and we have maths to back it up. Well, I mean, I have some maths to back it up anyway.
We have some maths to back it up.
I clearly have been watching too much BBC programming, because maths.
It's honestly just a more fun way of saying it.
Kind of is. I'm just going to grab those hypertube requirement copper tubes now, just so it's out of the way.
All right. Go ahead and head down and get some steel pipes. Well, I think about... I think I kind of don't want to leave production stalled too long, but I also want to make sure we've got a power surplus going into this next phase, and we're kind of peaking at halfway.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably not in extreme danger.
Nah.
That's all right. I'm going to do horrible things to our production levels anyway, because I'm going to be tearing apart. Like, all the stuff I spent the last session building is going to basically get demolished.
Kind of same here. This whole nice glass factory I put together, I kind of need more than it now, and I kind of need to use a different amount of space. So I think, I don't think there's a way I can just, like, neatly tack on. I think I need to kind of either move it out or move it back, but I'm also kind of squeezed in, so...
Yeah, it's not a great building site, but then again, you can always just kind of go up a bit.
There is that. I could just...
There's nothing stopping you from just saying, oh, this is my first floor, and now the rest of it goes up.
Yeah, that's probably actually not a terrible idea. That might be what I do.
Unfortunately, my up all basically goes right into the stuff I already have built. Because what I need to do is replace a lot of those constructors with smelters. I only have, I think, 6 smelters, and I need 3 times that once I get the Mark II miners in place. I mean, it's a hot mess right now. It's a functional hot mess.
Yeah.
Partly predicated on the fact that we got the cast screws recipe right after I had finished building the screw structure.
Yeah.
Not much you can do about that sort of thing.
Plus, I've got... Actually, that's the iron. Right, the copper's right there. Okay.
The witches?
The copper down in the coal fields.
Oh yeah, it's just right in the middle of that thing. You just have to build off of that to get to it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's... Alright, so my plan, gentle viewer, while Grey Duck works on making a full-on Ironworks proper factory with all our tools, my job is to expand the steelworks and also tack on capabilities to produce encased industrial beams and statters once the steel fills up, in theory.
Right.
Because what we got last session was Miners Mark II.
Which changes everything. The problem is this game has a lot of moments that, well, that changes everything.
But fortunately, getting Miners Mark II and... Getting Miners Mark II and Logistics 3 and 4 are kind of like... the last of, like, the major, like, production upgrades for a while.
It's true.
The next steps are kind of like, oh, you got this new product you can work with, like oil.
Alright, so you've already got 3 limestone constructors out here.
Yeah.
trying to decide if I care enough to double that up, but I'm going to use a lot of concrete, but at the same time, I'm probably not going to use a lot of it at once at a time. So I think I'm going to leave that be. It's not a priority that I need to stop down and focus on.
Yeah.
My real priority is the cram massive amounts of smelters into this space. Because I need to turn those into Mark II miners.
I thought I had kind of a clear set of priorities going into this, but now I'm just like, it would be nice to have the Steelworks Mark II up and running regardless, and we've probably got enough power for it, but it'll also be nice to just take care of the power first, but that'll be an undertaking, and
Having said that, we will need EIBs, because Miner Mark II, each one takes 10.
That's true. And
we will probably be handcrafting EIBs a bit.
Yeah, and
so we can't do anything with Mark II miners until we crank out some of those.
That is true.
The temptation to just buy them from the Awesome Shop is non-trivial. I don't know if we have that many tickets right now.
I'm starting to
We have 3 tickets. Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder about my plan to use smart splitters to sort of use excess overflow to make production, because we could be waiting a while before we start getting EIBs and statters in that case.
Well, I could spend 3 of our tickets and get 100. Because we're making steel pipes, we're making steel beams. EIBs is a concrete and steel beam thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not even using them to try and get the hypertubes. Hypertubes can wait. Hypertubes can wait until we're making them. But I feel like having... we're going to need several Mark II miners. And they're going to take 10 each. The question is, are we making enough steel beams that you want to try and cram those and concrete together to do it that way? I mean, it's an option.
Yeah. It's not a bad option.
Set up a workshop down there and just crank out a bunch of them.
Yeah, let's save the tickets, I think.
Save the tickets, yeah.
We're making enough right now. Actually, I kind of want to use one to get myself a cup, because I have seen the light.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm dumping tickets into the little tiny storage bin.
Got one.
Go for it. And hopefully it'll let you do the thing this time.
Yep. Got it.
There you go.
Because this actually is really kind of useful.
Yeah, having the space filler when you're rotating through. Oh, I actually haven't done that yet. Oh, dealt with.
Alright, so there will be a lot of mug on screen, but it'll take up less space than the sword.
Yeah. And it lets you rotate through to something inert that doesn't cause damage.
I kind of wish... I mean, if they would let you just rotate to empty hands, but they kind of don't.
Great.
So, which makes sense, because if you only have 2 things and you're in kind of a heated situation, you're going to want access to those 2 things, but... just remember, spiders aren't scared of coffee. That is a very good point. We are going to need EIBs. That does kind of change the game a bit. I thought I could put it off, but I think... yeah. In that case, I gotta...
It's not letting me do it. Okay. I will live without the inert object. That's fine.
Yeah, we got plenty enough steel beams for now. Just raw steel beams that, with some concrete, we can make EIBs enough to get...
yeah. Just hand crank out a bunch, yeah.
Yeah. Our production speed is actually pretty good on that front. And once the Mark II, to get this thing upgraded, it'll be even better. So I might actually be a bit less worried about than I thought than about. Might just do like single stack storage containers for the pipes and beams. So that
Oh,
feels
for
like,
the buffers?
yeah, for the buffers.
Yeah. I am having, well, not a crisis, but I'm having a change of thought about where I was going to put the super ironworks.
You were initially thinking next to the space elevator, right?
I was thinking towards the space elevator. I was actually thinking on the plateau next to where you've got that one feeder
Oh, yeah.
storage bin for the animal parts.
Oh, that plateau, yeah.
But that's further away than the plateau that's right next to the ironworks building, basically behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to clear some trees out, but I could build a whole big thing right there.
You'd have a lot of space up there, yeah.
I think I'm going to build out that direction, or at least get some platforms out that direction and see what's over there. Oh, do we have... What does it take to build a weapon? I've
Does
actually
he know
tried
Basher?
doing that. Yeah, because I am still...
Okay. Time to paint a picture in my head.
Going to your mind palace, huh?
Yep. Gonna spaz out while a bunch of words fly in front of my face.
I have a Xenozapper.
You mean Basher?
Or Basher, yes. Keeping that straight.
I was about to say, like, if
I'm
you
so
actually
used to that candy cane.
you crafted the weak version instead of.
Well, I had to craft a second one anyway. Because
Oh yeah, that's true.
you
Yeah,
two of them to.
Yes, mild liquid physics. Downright hypnotic.
It's the perfect mug of coffee. You can carry it everywhere and it never spills. You can drink it all day and it never runs out.
Coffee with gravitational controls somehow.
Right.
60 goes to like 20, so can I even get that much concrete actually? I have enough.
And now, of course, I'm denuding another chunk of real estate so I can build ugly brick structures on it. Kind of feel bad taking out these little pine scrub bonsais here. It's a rough game for a tree hugger.
Yeah.
I really noticed that Mothra has a support squadron flying along.
It's got a little flock up there. No, I could just make it the same and the math would still be just fine because I'm making 20 and 22.5, so I just do that again with the exact same, like, underclocking layout, and it'll balance out.
That's right, my build up on this plateau thing was a great idea until I realized this isn't a plateau, but a continual slope.
Yeah. Alright.
Eventually I'm building out over nothingness a lot, with a huge drop. The kind of thing like, when we have jetpacks, I'll think about it. I will leave this bridge intact, but it is not the immediate plan.
Yeah. Okay, so we just built a second floor, merged the production lines into one, and then split them here into extra facilities for handling copper and concrete fusion products and excess. Alright, the good thing about this design is that I'm going to be able to do this in place without interrupting our current production of beams and pipes.
That is handy.
So they will just continue filling while I do this, which is good, because I will probably take my sweet darn time. I'm going to need mod frames. Alright, I'm coming back for a shopping run.
Well, by golly, you're going to see a whole bunch of floating concrete when you get back.
Is that so?
So yeah, just hang a left when you get to the big rectangle of concrete in the sky.
Oh my.
7x9 grid is what it takes to cram in 18 cast screw constructors.
I wouldn't say physics is dead, but we are very slowly killing it piece by piece.
Yeah, I think I found the problem with this starting area, and that is that all the physical topography is sloped.
Yeah.
You start at one point, and you will be building out over empty space. There's no way around that.
Basically.
As evidenced by the space elevator. Yeah.
Yep. Space elevator on stilts out there, yeah.
Yep.
The space elevator goes, in theory, to our bosses, basically. Whatever orbital thing they've got.
We are meeting our production goals for Fix-It Incorporated by setting things off in the space elevator. Insofar as the game has a point, that is the point of the game.
Alright, everything else I need should be back down at the site. Does working for Fix-It net you any benefits? We get to be a lifelong pioneer. That's about it. We get this suit. And this build gun. Although the mug's not a benefit, we had to buy that. With script.
It's true, it is company script, isn't it?
Okay. I guess the convenient thing about this is that I can just look down and be like, okay, so here's the layout I'm using.
Oh, yeah. The glass floor tile is worth its tickets and then some.
This was the tomfoolery I engaged in last time.
Yeah,
I mean, it worked. But it doesn't make it any less tomfoolery.
sadly, an effective kludge is still a kludge.
Yep.
I hate when they do this.
Oh. Well, those right angles turned out perfectly.
It's always a little disturbing when one of the elephant giraffe ticks decides to phase through your wall.
Hmm. Time to put up a whole bunch of walls. And ceilings so that I can wire power.
Yeah, I had a noob moment this weekend. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't place the wall plugs in the ceiling because I was trying to use the double plugs. I didn't realize I needed to equip the single plugs because those can go in ceilings.
Ah, yeah.
Now that I've learned this valuable lesson, I'm going to try applying it here.
I knew I was holding on to these this gob of iron plates for a reason. It's clipping a bit, but oh well.
Yeah, clipping is the thing I have the least tolerance for. Spaghetti belts, okay. Not getting all the 90-degree turns, meh. But some things is like, it's clipping, I'm like, I can't with that.
For me, it's sort of like, I don't know, kind of a luxury thing. Like, if I have the time and space to get it looking nice, I will.
But
But
you don't always have
like
that luxury.
I need to get this thing online so I can, because there's things I need to get them sooner rather than later. Then I'm gonna be like, yeah, just wires everywhere. Go for it.
I need power up here, and I'm trying to decide the best way to do that.
Okay. Very glad I decided to make that a Mark II. All right. Now I just need to do the in-place replacement, rather, of the actual miners, the production sources.
How are we on steel beams down there? You think we've been cranking out enough of those?
Yeah, we got a few.
Okay, I may come. Oh, hey, I got some mycelia out of one of the logging expeditions. I'll dump that in the shared storage.
All right, after
Okay.
a brief pause in operations, we have doubled steel production.
Excellent. Which is good because I just stole about half of your steel beams.
Good.
Didn't take them all,
That's fine. I'm not.
but that gives me Mark III belt capability and the ability to make some EIBs. Because it's
Yeah, absolutely.
time to upgrade at least one of my miners.
Oh, I had forgotten something. I moved some cables around and forgot to reattach them. Slightly important, that.
So are you suggesting that equipment needs electricity to run?
I mean, it's a crazy thought, I know.
It looks so weird to come up on this giant edifice as you go up the hill.
A little bit.
I can't wait till we have the pylons, but I mean, I can wait till we have the pylons, but I am eagerly looking forward to having the pylons.
You can
I like
use
using those a lot more than the
foundations. You can
foundations.
use the chunky foundations in a pinch, I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm doing it, but it's just like, I'll be happier when I can have the prettier looking thing.
All right, now for the slightly fancier part. Making wings such that we'll get EIBs, satyrs, and frankly, like concrete and copper sheets, I guess. Just make this a one-stop shop.
It's nice that you can just do if you have the portable miners and everything else, you can just drop in replace.
Oh, you can do that too? I did not know.
Yeah, you can in-place upgrade. You don't have to remove the miner and then put another one in. It's just like with the power pole Mark 1 to Mark 2, you can just say, build a Mark 2 where that Mark 1 is, and it goes, okay, boss.
I need to be trying that more often.
Yeah, it saves you a lot of having to, rerun the belts and everything, because trying to put a miner and reattach it to an existing belt tends to, not work. I'm using the crepuscular lighting effect that it does at sunrise, sunset.
Yeah.
Through everything. It's like, there's trees way off in the distance, and it's going to do the light rays effect. It's so pretty. Oh, hey, wow, there's more tiles here now.
Yep, I'm working now on the EIB wing.
That is my storage capacity. Off I go. Admittedly, I'm going to dump 3 stacks of those into the milestone, because why not? I'm amused that you have to have the 2 portable miners to do the upgrade, but you get one of them back from the original miner. Game logic is not human logic. you're not carrying the second one, it won't let you do the upgrade. But you don't actually need the second one because there's one already there.
Oh, that's why I figured it was restricted, because it would run into that problem. Looking at everyone else's setups and mine is just depressing. I mean, here's the thing. We've both, Greyduck and I, we've put like ridiculous. How many hours? Do we even want to say?
Several.
A few. We've put enough practice into this that we've made a lot of let's call them mistakes. They're mistakes, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we're doing a lot of the extra work necessary, and it's work to try and make this as smooth for us as possible at as reasonably can be accomplished at any given stage.
Oh, I just had a brainwave.
Uh-oh. That ain't good.
I know what to do with that big sloping space up there.
Uh-oh.
That's where the smelters go.
Ah.
I just have to run a conveyor lift all the way up here from my smelter, but that's not a problem.
Okay. Concrete is now being transported to the EIB wing.
It's a beautiful day, and you are a horrible engineer. Not sure the Untitled Factory game is the crossover we really needed, but
nah. Last thing we need is a goose coming in and wrecking our stuff. Yeah, it took me like, I'd say probably even like 15, 20 hours just to even like kind of like start getting this game, like capital G, quote unquote, get. In the sense that like, you automate things, and the more efficient you are, the less time you have to spend waiting. Oh, that's the loop. Oh, like it took me that long just to even, because I ended up like making a whole bunch of stuff by hand early on, and making setups that were like, oh, it makes one thing, great. I make one of everything. A minute. Oh, just, oh goodness, it was bad. So it took me a lot of time and to realize like, oh, if I use a spreadsheet and do the math so that I have matching inputs with the right output ratios, then I can make this stuff at a pretty fast rate, and then I'll never need to worry about it again until I need this for something else, logistically.
And that first so many hours that you're spending running around picking up plant life.
Oh yeah. Like, and that's before you are out of the rush of biomass burners and into coal power. Like, ugh. Like there's only so much you can really like focus on.
Do it anyway, because why not?
Okay. Here it comes. Here it comes. The concrete has entered the building.
Aha.
It's still not getting steel beam sent into it, but I could just like, we aren't overflowing with steel beams yet.
Yeah, that's
it'll be still a while, but I could just like swap it over to focus on EIBs for a while. I have the smart splitter. I can just swap which one's the any and which one's the overflow.
Thing. Do I just? Yes, I do just.
Oh, but I will need power.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to get power up here. Shoot. That's going to be exciting. Toward me. Yeah, they are. So, pointing the wrong way.
All right. So...
always pointing the wrong way the first time. Curse, I swear.
Put a double... Also, some of it is like, once you are in a position where you can make use of the awesome shop, knowing like what a lot of the useful products are to like streamline things. You don't start with a lot of them.
Yeah. keep trying to overdo the conveyor belts. I was like, I should use Mark II conveyor belts. It's like, no, Mark II conveyor belt, or the Mark I conveyor belt can move 60 things, and each of these smelters can only take 30 per. So putting a Mark II in there is overdoing it.
Yeah, I always try to just go with the minimum possible. Also because it feels good to get the math right, but yeah, it's less expensive in a sense.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
So I guess we're taking out that wall.
The downside, it looks like power consumption has gone up.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get on that soon.
Sad but true. So I've not connected the cast screw makers yet. Probably tell them, hey, that's what you're making.
Oh yeah, that's getting up there. We are somewhat slowly making EIBs.
Hey, cool.
I've decided to just make the smart splitter just a straight splitter for now.
Yeah, it's like you don't, until you're at the point where you're really trying to deal with overflow specifically, you
Like
don't need the smart splitter that badly.
It means we're not getting, they're not like at maximum efficiency they could be, but they're still like both increasing, which is kind of the deal we need right now. That's not going to work.
It's amazing how many times you find yourself saying that in this game.
Yeah. Just, all rise for our national anthem.
Make 900 cast screws a minute once all 18 of the constructors are in place. We only need 600 for the rotor production. Which is good because we need screws for other things. I mean, having only 2/3 of it getting used up right now is more ideal than it might have first seemed. But right, we're not using screws for rips. I'm so used to it being. In my game, I don't have stitched iron plate recipe, so I'm used to having to chew up a bunch of screws to make rips as well.
I always end up making these lifts 1 unit higher than I really should.
Oh, I hate trying to gauge the lifts. Like, oh, always like that one notch too high or too low when you're trying to like eyeball it. Okay, original iron production is back. So we will be making iron plates and iron rods and things again.
Okay.
But it's all off of one miner instead of 3.
Nice.
So miner power usage has gone down, kind of, because the third miner is no longer in use.
You need up there, huh?
So I'm going to hand build enough EIBs real quick to get the hypertube started.
Oh, you can come down here and grab some if you want.
I've got enough spare steel
Fair
beams
enough.
and whatnot. And eventually I'm going to want those for... oh, that's right. We're not going to get the Mark IV until we get the next elevator shipment, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
We can't have the Mark IV Razafragan belts. Oh. Alright.
Milestone reached. Fixit Incorporated has processed and incorporated frequent Pioneer requests for pipe-based personal transport. Introducing
frequent
Refactory.
Pioneer requests for
Because
pipe-based personal
would-
transport.
You wouldn't
Enjoy
stop
the feel of
asking.
your
Here you
hard
go.
work as you soar through incredibly tight turns. Build them today. Note: Fixit Incorporated is not responsible for any harm caused by irresponsible use of this product.
Yeah, and while jump pads is a thing that is available to us, somehow I don't think in the current state of the game, doing jump pads in multiplayer is the healthy alternative, let's say.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to partially power the screws, the new screws facility, and then I'll. But if I do that, I need to build the rotor production as well and send iron rods that way. So I'm trying to decide: do I build the iron rods on the next floor? Because I'm going to want assembler site in a separate building right next door. But I kind of wanted to get the old production up and running again because we're going to need more mats.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I don't want to build any closer to the space elevator. It gets cranky when you start crowding its bounding box. Yes, it's smart plating, versatile frameworks, and the automated wiring. So rips and rotors, mod frames and steel beams, and stators and cables.
Hmm.
And it takes 20 cables per stator to make an automated wiring, and you need 100 of those. It's like the copper refactoring is also not far off.
Yeah.
I somehow got some limestone for chopping down a tree.
Oh, that probably would have been a rock nearby. The AoE of the chainsaw will sometimes get nearby rocks as well, but it's not what you'd
That
call
is
consistent.
kind of weird.
The intention being it's for like obstacle clearing and whatnot, but
Suppose. I did not make that jump. It occurs to me I can just build the assembler building as an extension of the primary product building. And that way I can just send my conveyor through right nearby conveyor bolt holes. Shorten the amount of routing involved.
Now for the speed run of getting a compacted coal generator facility online.
Turn a phrase you don't hear every day.
Yeah. 16 coal generators, which means a lot of rotors and a lot of cables. And more reps.
I read Seamus Young on 20-Sided Tale did a rant about Satisfactory.
Oh, yeah?
Went up today. And he kind of ripped it a new one because there are some annoying decisions that were made in how to build this game.
Yeah.
And at the end, I'm kind of like, I agree with you, and yet I love the game because the things that frustrate you don't frustrate me enough.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, I'm not invalidating your opinion, sir. I just don't entirely share it.
Pretty much.
And the conclusion I came to was pretty much the game wants you, it encourages you to be doing math, but not too much math. Like, if you're really fussy about the math and you're trying to get the decimal places level of, it's like, okay, you possibly can, but it really fights you. And it's the same thing for neatness. Like, I want things to fit on nice, neat grids. The foundation tiles encourage you to do this. And yet all the machinery, none of it fits exactly on one length or width of, I think maybe smelters is about the closest thing.
Yeah.
And it's all the whole game is like that. We're just kind of like it's just everything's just a little bit off. And I'm like, as long as you like to be tidy but not too tidy.
That's
If you want things to
actually,
be neat but not too neat. If you like doing math but aren't super obsessive about it, you will probably enjoy this game.
yeah.
But there's a min and max for all of those values. If you are under that value, you don't want to do any math. This is not your game.
Yeah.
If you want the math to be perfect, this is also not your game.
Yeah.
Some people might think that I'm putting up all these frame windows because I like having the nice, pretty view. It's not why I'm doing it. I'm putting up all these pretty windows because I hate falling to my death. When I was building my train line around the world, when you're laying train track, you basically have to go backward.
Yeah.
It's possible to lay rail facing forward, but it's a lot fussier and trickier. It's better to just, okay, snap to the last bit, go backwards until it goes red, find the nearest boundary to that, lay the track,
Yeah.
back up some more, do it again. Well, when you're out over open ocean, you don't necessarily want to be like back. Oops, I ran off my last foundation tile. So I
Pretty
would always
much.
put a frame window at the end of the line. So if I bump into something, I can't move back anymore. I must have found the end. So the fun part is I realize that since we don't have the Mark IV belts, I can't use the EIB based belts, which means
Yeah.
I can't do all 600 screws per minute of the output I'm using of cast screws into the rotor assemblers. So it's like, okay, 4 constructors make 200 screws per minute. That's a Mark III. Or actually a Mark II can do. Oh, you've got company.
Yeah.
No, it is the Mark III. I need a Mark III to do 270 per minute. So 200 per minute on 3 Mark IIIs feeds my 6 assemblers. But I'm going to have to run 3 conveyor belts
Actual
to make that
houses
work.
are
It's going to be a little
problem.
ugly, but
Okay. $16 of these darn things. Take up about, let's say, half of that. Platform and a half. Oh. You've been a nuisance for some time, my friend.
I just had a conveyor belt turn itself into a loop, into its own. Oh, that was weird. I had the output then go back into the nearest input on a
on a
merger.
yeah.
It went right through both of the walls it's next to, and just like, no, you obviously meant to go there, not into the conveyor belt wall fixture you put. No, that must have been what you meant, right?
Goodness.
Silly game. The new cast screws facility is partially operational. I don't want to put a lot of power into it, and I don't have the iron rods heading over here to feed the assemblers yet either, so. But as a proof of concept, it's a start.
Two. All right, the the first set of coal generators is now operating off of
The new coal.
Yeah, off of one miner Mark II.
Oh, right, yes, because we can feed all that off of one now.
Yeah. So the first 8 generators are now being fed by one Mark II normal coal miner.
Speaking of upgrades, I wish we could do. Wouldn't it be great if you could upgrade the storage bin to from the storage container to the industrial storage, like you can
Oh,
with like
yeah.
miners and things? Ugh.
Yeah.
No, you have to offload. Yeah, Seamus's other big complaint was the fact that you can place a thing and it's like it's just off by a teeny tiny bit, or it's just not enough clearance, and you're like, okay, now remove it, put it back again. Oops, I was still off a bit. Remove it, put it back. It's like he comes from Factorio where you don't have a lot of that, but it's like it's also a 2D game, so
Yeah. And I was watching a podcast, I think it was Super Best Friends, where Pat was like, nah, I bounced off all the other factory games, but this one, figured I might as well just jump into one of the factory games and try this one. And it was like the first person perspective actually being down on the ground was what eventually sold him.
yeah, I like this. Like I know Dyson Sphere program exists, and everyone's like, that's the new hotness, and I'm just like, yeah, it looks cute, but I don't think I would get as invested in it the same way.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We can focus on that one later.
Another classic phrase of the Satisfactory player. I'll deal with that later.
Get that rolling.
Now, in the good news department, every smelter we're going to need for all 3 of the used iron nodes over here are now placed.
Nice.
They exist. There are 8 down on the original smelter floor and 16 more up here. That is all the capacity these 3 miners have.
Okay.
I see a conveyor belt.
Yep.
It looks like it's moving sulfur. Thank you for the convenient highway.
You're quite welcome. Crouching at this clearance is a bird. Come on.
That's when new birds get clearance.
Oh, really? I'm gonna run out of rods.
Oh, like what? You mean I needed to have an infinite supply of that too?
Hello, hello. All right.
Hello.
Nice building you got here.
Oh, thank you. Sort of sentence is usually followed by it'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Yeah. Just like I press the F key and hold it menacingly? No. Goodness. Trolling in this game would be brutal.
Heck. Oh, I put it backwards. Like, why can't I put that into the input? Oh, because that's the output.
That's not the input, as it turns out.
Oh, okay. It's doing the. Why are you doing the encroaching indicator? All right. So you're working on supplying the.
Assembling the compacted coal is where I'm at.
Groovy.
And then building the manifolds and water pipes for the 16 coal generators.
That's a lot of coal generators.
Yeah. Okay. The plan is starting to come together,
Aha.
however haphazardly.
I need more iron plates.
Now these just need power.
It's a thing that you keep saying regardless of how far you progress in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to put up walls? Hope you're still making iron plates. Probably actually get more concrete while I'm thinking about it. And we're probably getting to the point where we're find a good stopping point.
Oh, I'm almost there though.
Yeah, no, I was saying it's if you're right on the cusp, that's not a problem. I'm just kind of like time to be mindful.
Yep.
I won't have the new iron rod production going yet, but I'm very, very close. And as soon as that is running, then also the new rotor production will also be underway. I'm just prepping so I can run power to this upper floor. The Cathedral of Iron over here.
All right. That should do us for compacted coal production. Now to get the splitters and not everything. All right, here we go. The world's longest manifold begins. Now for all the belts. And not a lot of belts. All the belts.
Oh, nice. Very nice. This is a bit of serendipity.
What?
Well, where I've got the iron rods coming down from the upper floor is directly in line with one of the inputs for one of the assemblers.
Ooh, nice.
So that's where I'm going to center my my supply line for that. Only take 20 input per, so Mark 1 is fine. Don't do it.
Can't afford. Oh, you're kidding me.
So I'm learning the trick of the 3 high stacked conveyor belt to match the conveyor lift lowest setting. Like there's an entire thing about how to build that.
What?
Did I not put in the right one? Yeah, I did. Okay. Too far.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, I'm a complete dumbass. You know that whole output input thing you've been dealing with?
Putting things the right direction?
Yeah.
I'm sure nothing like that has happened to you at all.
No, not remotely. Certainly did not, I repeat, did not put a manifold in front of the compacted coal assemblers, put a storage container buffer in front of that, and then point it the wrong way and put it into one of the inputs for the last merger of the manifold. Instead of
no,
the
it's a good thing you didn't
output.
do anything like that.
Nope. Yeah, absolutely nothing of the sort happened, and everything is fine.
as you're stacking conveyors or stacking splitters, it decides to change the direction.
Yeah.
Like the first two are exactly the way you want them, and the third one it changes direction. You're like, well, you got to pay attention to every last one of those. I mean, technically, only the third one really matters, but. And I didn't put that far enough over. I did. Forget me. I did.
Need to run back and get cable
Ugh. Something.
to finish this. No, I have wire. I can just craft bench it. Okay.
Just brute force that thing. Oh,
Exceeding power to get just to connect the water generators.
I'm going to turn on some bio thingies since I'm here right next to them. Okay, do I need to turn off something to make this work? Because I will if I have to.
Let me disconnect some stuff from my extravagant Steelworks Mark II and
Yeah, I keep trying to reset it, and it's like, nope.
all right, let me.
Which is annoying because like the biomass generators are here, and now they're all lit up. It's like, yes, we could be powering these.
Let me cut off a few cables for the moment. Just like this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Let's see, which one would be a good. I'll cut power to the top smelters too. It's not like I can do anything with them right now anyway.
And this one. All right. Give that a shot.
Okay. Back down we go. Bounce off of that.
There we go.
And we've got oodles of biofuel, so, you know.
All right. Starting to see some green on the new coal generators.
I'll say this is a very temporary thing. It's like, soon we won't need these, but.
All right. It's going to fluctuate for a while as it gets started up, but yeah. Looks like we're going to cap out at around 1.5 gigawatt hours.
Well, we've also got the bios running right now,
Oh, yeah,
so
that's true. All right, then. But still.
we'll shed those at some point.
Yep.
Why did I do that? I need a ramp to get into this place better. Okay, I want to go in through and configure these guys real quick, because apparently you can't, it's hard to configure things with no power. Let's see. The whole game just stops letting you do things to equipment.
Yep.
Rotor. Okay.
Time to reconnect those two cables I cut now that we're not pushing it.
Yeah. Reroute power back up here.
All right.
Better. There's always that hiccup when you're trying to get a new power plant online.
Yeah, it's just like it kind of racing against the clock, and I lost for a bit. Ah, well.
All good. All right. So now I have I just need to connect a few more things, and then we will have the screws and iron rods to rotors process going, and then I can tear out the old rotor assembly.
All right.
So I've definitely got, I have a clear goal for the next session. Hot diggity dog. Went from nothing to a giant edifice of iron.
I'm definitely
Okay,
gonna have to come up
gianter
there and
edifice.
take a look, but first. All right. We have a mega factory of sorts.
Very nice. All that storage. Smart splitters are awesome.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm going to keep the iron plates production in the original building, since I already have 8 smelters right there, and I'm going to have all that space not being used. It's like, why build a third floor on this and then have to shuttle all that iron ingots over here when it's all right there? I can just do it all in one spot.
Okay.
Happy with that? Yes, I am.
Here we go. Oh, this is a spiderweb spaghetti mess, but it works.
Said no satisfactory player ever.
No, not me. Oh, goodness. All right.
Oh, right. And since I'll be making all the iron plates right here, I can just expand the rip facility in place. I'll just put
Ooh.
the rip stuff up there and off to the side. Yes. Okay. I have a plan, because that means I don't have to refactor the copper as badly. I'll just
Okay.
probably make a better path for the wires, because having it run along the ground is bothering me.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am
It
coming back up
offends my
to.
delicate aesthetic sensibilities.
I'm coming up to take a look at your building so far. Buildings,
All
rather.
right, I'm going to bop around real quick and re-stand by the. Oh, stand by. Thank you. You already stood by. Does the entire biomass thing go into standby on its own? What? Stop that. There we go. Yellow, 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 yellow. Let's grab this one. There. Okay, I have lowered our power output a little bit, but those are the emergency generators.
All right. Assemblers, look at all that. Look at all that.
I'm going to run up top there, I think, for the next screenshot.
Oh, there's another building here. Look at that.
Or this is kind of an annex, really.
Yeah.
Yes, I still need to finish off belting those smelters, but oh yeah, that's
And then yeah, there's our original building, and then all right. Here's my kludge. I'm quite bemused that my concrete platform is still kind of in place.
Well, it's a good platform. I mean, it needs expanding. I mean, there's a Mark II miner in place now.
Ah,
I just went ahead and upgraded that while I was building other stuff.
gotcha.
And I think I want that in the screenshot. There we go. Get the little copper works in there. Boop. You got a little bit of Mothra in the corner. Yeah, definitely the concrete production is going to get beefed up over there. We can support twice as many of those constructors as we're using now.
Yeah.
But in the process, I'm also going to move its storage. But basically everything down here, just outside the ironworks, is going to get redone.
Yeah.
Like this whole floor here is going to get wiped clean.
Yeah.
Like I kind of envision this little shelf over here as being the start of a storage area, probably like a huge storage area for the concrete. That's all going to route it over here instead of in the middle of all the iron stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we did good. We added power. I've got the bulk of the new ironworks in place. I mean, it's not even remotely done, but
I've
I
expanded
can
the
see it
steelworks.
happening. Yes, that's so vital.
And turned it into a not quite a mega factory, but some other parts once it fills up on stuff and whatnot.
So kind of previewing the next things we'll be doing is like we've got to dot the I's and cross the T's on what we've done today. But then the next thing is taking the output of the new production facilities and starting to build stuff for the space elevator.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've got to turn all of these iron and concrete and steel products into stuff that goes into that thing because we really want the next tier unlock.
Yeah.
We want Mark IV belts. We want oil power.
Oil power.
Petroleum products, plastics, electronics,
rubber.
Hey, rubber's it's kind of important, but like plastic is the big thing.
Yeah, plastic.
You need so much freaking plastic. Luckily, we're not far from really rich oil fields. You just have to go north to the water, and there's like 8 freaking oil nodes out there.
Oh, right, that big old yeah.
Yeah, I just built in my game. I built my train station around the entire coastline, and as I was going through there, I'm like, so that's an oil node, and that's an oil node, and that. How many freaking oil nodes are there over here? Because I was like, why am I fighting all these monsters? Oh, look at that little inky patch there in the water. Oh, that's an oil node. Okay. Yeah. When we get over there and start building on that, we are not going to be hurting for petroleum products.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think, and yes, there's my little rattle. I think it is time for me to do a save, and we call it good, and we reconvene in a week, hopefully.
Yeah, this was a quite productive session.
It had some frustration points, but
a little bit,
I think we really made good progress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, RTT save day 4. I'm sorry, what?
1,800 megawatt hours.
Yes. And then once we get the oil power up and running, it'll be like, oh, remember the days when it was, only 4 digits?
Yeah.
All right. I think I've got a save. I think we're good to go.
All right. Excellent. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you're enjoying. See you next time.
See you next time.